This is a Russian movie and it's based on real events that took place back in 1962 during the Soviet era. And I didn't realize this when I pressed play, but after a while it just hit me. I was actually familiar with this story from before. I think I read about it in the Gulag Archipelago. But that didn't really have much of an impact, although I did roughly know how it would play out. It's still kinda different reading about a historical account and seeing it play out on screen though. And with a story like this, it feels very different when you see it from one person's point of view too. But yeah, the story here follows this woman, a blowhard party member, who is caught in the middle when thousands of factory workers in her town go on strike. Now, if you know anything about the Soviet regime, you know they don't really like that sort of thing. And we get to see the government scrambling to deal with the situation. And even though this is a fairly well-known historical event, I don't really want to get into the details here. But let's just say that drastic measures were taken and the end result wasn't necessarily pretty. Although I feel like Solzhenitsyn painted an even less pretty picture in his book, to be honest. And I think this one in comparison didn't end up feeling quite as drastic as I expected. But that's not to say things didn't get out of hand and that there weren't some intense scenes in this. Because they did, and there were, and a lot of it was presented in a very matter-of-fact way that perfectly just captured the terrible sense of, I guess, complete shock of the people and how off guard everyone was caught. And I feel like the movie did a really good job with that part in particular. Not that I think really any part was particularly poorly handled, to be fair. In fact, I think this was a very well-made movie, and one that went by surprisingly fast too. Because it is a fairly slow-moving 2-hour movie, but it really didn't feel that long. And I think that's in large part because of the main character here, and how we follow her specific journey through all of this very closely. Which got me very invested in the story and the events, and I wanted to know how her story would play out. That was also of course further helped by Yulia Vysotskaya's absolutely solid performance, who I just found out was actually born in the town where this took place. And from a quick Google based on the landmarks, it looks like they actually shot the movie there too, at least partially. Speaking of which, I like the filmmaking here overall too. I like the way it was shot. And the 4:3 aspect ratio combined with the black and white footage really fit the time period well. And yeah, I don't really have that much else to say about this one, but I don't really have any complaints either. Everything about it was just very solid, and it's just a well-made, interesting and captivating movie that held my interest throughout, and I genuinely liked the ending too. I feel like it took a chance with that one and definitely didn't do what I expected it to. So bonus points for that. Ending on a surprising note is usually a good thing in my book. And with that said, I'm thinking this one deserves a solid 7. Boop. However, would I recommend it? Yeah, sure, just don't expect an action-packed thriller or something like that. Even though there are certainly thrilling moments in it too, but yeah, maybe give this one a peek, or don't. After all, I'm not your dad. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel, because that would be fantastic.